Welcome. This is our International Women's Day, Tuesday, March 8, 2016 edition of the Government News Brief. On this special day, we would like to extend International Women's Day greetings to our mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, bosses, and all other women across Guyana. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Government News Brief. The Government of Guyana has announced that it will continue to receive written comments on the draft Code of Conduct from Ministers of Government, members of the National Assembly, and public office holders. In an effort to ensure a thorough and comprehensive code which benefits from the widest possible input, government will allow for further comments before the code is presented to Cabinet for approval and finalization. The Code of Conduct is based on 10 principles: accountability, dignity, diligence, duty, honor, integrity, loyalty, objectivity, responsibility, and transparency, and is a coalition government manifesto promise. The government encourages participation from wide-ranging citizens and stakeholders in the process leading up to the final version of the code, which is intended to promote professional, exemplary, and responsible conduct by senior government personnel. It is further meant to engender and reinforce public confidence in the manner in which senior government officials perform their duties in service to the people. The Civil Defense Commission brings further relief to drought-affected Region 9 communities. Here is the latest intervention.
Director General of the Civil Defense Commission, Colonel Retired Chabila Ramsaroop, told the Government Information Agency that buckets with filters will be distributed to affected communities. This is made possible through a partnership with the United States Embassy Security Corporation Office in collaboration with Waves for Water, a U.S.-based non-profit organization.
We are starting with 220 buckets and filters, and this will be going out to the remote regions in Region 9. And hopefully we're going to be doing this next week, Tuesday and Wednesday in Letem. We're assembling the villages, or some of the villages, to teach them how the system works. And presently I'm engaging the U.S. Embassy to get some more supply of filters.
The CDC also made several other interventions to bring relief to the affected residents early in the year when the situation became more serious due to El Nino, which resulted in a prolonged dry period.
We have distributed a number of 450-gallon water tanks. I think there's 35 in all. And this has been sent to the sub-districts of the region. We've also distributed 15 water pumps, and these are 2-inch mechanical water pumps. What they do is put it on tractor and trailer, go to wherever the source of the water, the nearest source of the water that is available. They pump the water into the tanks and then go back to the villages and pump it out in whatever containers they have.
The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs continues to work with the CDC and other stakeholders to bring additional relief to the hinterland residents as well as those in other affected communities.
The creation of the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Unit is just one step further in tackling the scourge of domestic violence. Here are the details.
More policies and programs will be employed to address this type of violence, with the Ministry of Social Protection opening its Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Unit.
We want to express our heartfelt thanks to the government and the High Commissioner of Canada for allowing us the opportunity to fast track this venture, because that is what has happened here. While it is on our list of items to be done, through the help of the Canadian people, we have been able to make this a reality today. And this particular unit, as the High Commissioner said, will be able to give great support not only to us, the policymakers within the government, but also to the victims, and be able to take this assistance to those persons in the far-flung regions of Guyana.
This initiative is one of many funded through Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, which also provides support for Indigenous communities in responding to issues of rape, gender-based violence, trafficking in persons, and domestic violence in the hinterland.
Gender issues, violence against women, has been a theme in which Canada has been supporting Guyana for some years. But this year we thought it would be an interesting and very useful contribution to actually help create within the Ministry of Social Protection the unit here, Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Unit, with the purpose of helping women who are victims of violence to have an appropriate place where they could actually express their problem and hopefully get resolution to their issue. So this is a specialized unit, and we think that by this we will help address an issue and promote a better integration of women into the process of national development.
In 2015, the Canadian government supported training for about 40 Amerindians to identify and provide guidance on how to address sexual and gender-based violence. The Social Protection Ministry will also be commissioning a $40 million domestic violence center at Cornelia Ida, West Coast, Demerara. This facility will give domestic violence victims the needed protection and security and provide opportunities for them to be reintegrated into society. For the Government News Brief, Seneca Thorne reporting.
Beautification and rehabilitation of the Botanical Gardens on cards for Jubilee celebrations, thanks to a donation. We have more in this story.
Vice President for Exploration, America's ExxonMobil, Eric Oswald, donated $20 million to the National Protected Areas Commission. This donation will go towards the rehabilitation of the Botanical Gardens and was received by the Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman.
When we realized that May 2016 was fast approaching, the ministry decided that it would reach out to corporate Guyana to get assistance in restoring the parks.
This donation is the first of a series that the National Parks Commission, Protected Areas Commission, PAC, and Ministry of Natural Resources will be receiving, as other companies is expected to come on board. Commissioner of PAC, Damon Fernandez, explains how the donation will be utilized.
One being a waterfall fountain that will showcase a water feature that conjures the images of the waterfalls in Guyana's interior and provides information as to where those waterfalls are found. Lighting around the new walkways that we built in the gardens, as well as a Victoria lily pond, and an educational component.
The educational component will focus on connecting urban population with hinterland areas as to where protected areas are located. Additionally, field trips will be offered to nearby schools so students can learn about the environment.
Employment for some 300 persons would be created when the call center at Tushin opens. More in this report.
Construction of the call center at Tushin in Region 3 should be completed by June this year. The project, which began in 2014, now falls under the Ministry of Business Rural Enterprise Development Project. Funding for the completion of the project is provided in this year's budget.
Budget 2016 provides $195 million for the remaining works on these rural enterprise development projects and will allow us to complete them by June of this year. Potentially, they can create more than 600 jobs altogether and impact positively on the rural communities in which they are located.
Once completed, the Tushin Call Center is expected to increase economic opportunities in the region. Region 3 is largely an agricultural region, and the Ministry of Business sees the establishment of a call center as a means of diversifying the region's economy. It is expected that the employment opportunities would be geared mostly towards young people. For the Government News Brief, Seneca Thorne reporting.
We have come to the end of the Government News Brief for Tuesday, March 8, 2016. The Government News Brief, along with all other GINA programs, can be found on our website. We are also on Facebook and YouTube. On behalf of all of us here at GINA, thank you for watching.